Okay, move on to number 7. So 3 more. So feel very, very shy when talking in English in front of people.
Right.
How can I overcome this? You know, you don't have this fear.
I have no problem there. Right? I'm accused of the opposite. I think. Right? Like, you have to be a bit more shy. Sorry, I can't. I'm trying my best. But no, look, that is a big problem, and I've seen a lot of, I've taught, hundreds of Japanese
not only
students.
Japanese, but all the Asian
Koreans,
countries, right?
Chinese, many of them, Thai, Vietnamese, and some Europeans and some South Americans. Yeah, they tend to be louder. I think, South Americans, they tend to be louder and more confident and more bombastic and all that. And that's fine. But there are some shy people. Anyway, so being shy or not speaking English because you're shy or nervous, because you don't want to make mistakes and, you don't want people to laugh at you or make fun of you or whatever, that's a very natural thing. But unfortunately, the only way to overcome that is to step out of your comfort zone and just be willing to make mistakes. You have to accept the fact that you are going to make mistakes. But there's no way you're going to learn the language without making mistakes.
The environment is pretty important.
Definitely.
As well, because people get very, very intimidated, right? And then
definitely.
If the people are very, very shy all around the classroom, then I get shy too. Oh my God, what's going on? In this environment,
True. Yeah. So, now you're absolutely right. And so the first thing I do, on the first day of the course, I tell them, you know what? All right, this is your space. This is your kingdom. Okay? You are going to make mistakes here, and everybody has mistakes, and everybody has problems, different problems, but they have problems. And I correct everybody equally. So I don't focus on you and ignore the other person.
Everyone's kingdom.
So it's everybody's kingdom, and it's everybody's chance to make mistakes and get corrected and get some feedback. Because it comes down to feedback. If I don't give you feedback, there's no way you can understand what you're doing wrong. And you cannot fix your problems. You cannot fix your mistakes. You have to understand what you're doing wrong. So I give that chance to everybody equally. And that's why they start off, I think that, they're shy in the beginning. Obviously, they're shy in the beginning. But, second day, third day, they loosen up and they relax and they start to have fun and laugh about it. And it's not a big deal.
But maybe in Japan, right? Even the teachers cannot actually correct those mistakes.
That's a gigantic problem.
Gigantic problem.
Right? And I told, I offered help to one of the education departments in Japan. I used to live in Nishinomiya City. And, I went to the Board of Education over there at some point and I offered free help. I said, hey, I'm more than happy to give your teachers training in pronunciation, so they're able to help their students in the classroom. Because, as an ALT, I worked as an ALT for some time because I wanted to learn Japanese and work with Japanese people. So I worked there for 6 months, and I saw, what a big mistake that was, that Japanese teachers, although they're hardworking, they're beautiful people, they work so hard, and they're great, and they're educated, and they speak English better than I speak Japanese, I can tell you that. But when they spoke English, oh boy, they are teaching katakana English, right? So, table, right? Table, person, right? Person, not... So...
McDonald's.
McDonald's, right? And I confronted, I told one of the teachers, it's not McDonald's, it's McDonald's. And he said, I know, but we cannot really make the students nervous. We have to teach them katakana English because they're comfortable with it. No, hold on a second. You cannot do that, right? Do you know why you cannot do that, Shige-san? Because if you keep speaking katakana accent and you're basically teaching katakana English,
wrong sound system.
Thank you. You have those nasty, unbreakable habits that you cannot
Yeah.
ever get rid of.
And it break down every single ability.
That's
you know?
right.
Listening, speaking,
That's
reading.
right.
You know?
So they're ruining the students. You know, with all my respect, and I have a lot of respect for that.
It's important though.
But they have to really, they have to change the mentality, right? And I think it starts from universities. There are a lot of university professors that have control, you know, over the education department.
Yeah.
And I think they need to start having an impact. They need to influence the Board of Education because they're going to listen to the university professors. And if they make changes right from the very top, I think those changes will be brought down to the schools, and that might work.
Maybe those people can come here, you know, to experience, you know,
Hey,
your
I'm here.
classes, for example, you know.
I'm here.
Or you go to Japan, you know, just present, you know, do the presentation for those, you know, those
I'd
people.
be very happy to. I'd be very happy
but
to.
it should be happening at some point anyway.
Well,
you know?
it should be, and I think it's unfortunate that you know, despite many changes that have been happening in Japan, they have not managed to make a lot of changes when it comes to English learning and English teaching. There's a lot of money being spent. I mean, I feel awful, you know, for the Japanese students. You know, they spend so much money on education, on English education, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you got very big companies, and I'm not going to name any companies, but there are big schools in Japan, English schools.
Yeah.
They charge a fortune. I mean, 3,000 yen and 4,000 yen and 5,000 yen. And are they learning anything? I'm sorry, but if you call this learning, I don't know. I mean, some people might learn. Some people might learn something. I don't know. But hey, most Japanese students are not learning much.
Fundamentally, it's a different direction, maybe.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope, really, I hope that I would see some educators, some, you know, Japanese educators coming here to Australia for a visit, and we can have a meeting, we can talk about it, and I can help them understand what I mean exactly in details, and we can have a very constructive conversation about it.
I agree.
Hopefully something good will come out of it, right?
どうでしょう? Okay, let's move on.